Hi everybody, Claire here from Rainbow Acrylics. I'm about to do a really exciting commission. It's going to be a triptych made up of yellows, oranges, browns, golds, and they're all going to be swipes. There's going to be a graduation of colours. So the first canvas is going to be quite light, the yellows. The middle canvas is a little bit darker, the oranges, and then the third canvas, the darkest one, the browns and the bronzes. I've had a lot of emails back and forwards with the customer of this, so I've really now narrowed down exactly what I'm going to use and what colours I'm going to be using. So I'm really excited to start. Just before I show you the colours, I just want to show you my t-shirt, Pour, Scrape, Repeat. Now this t-shirt is from a group, a paint pouring group on Facebook called Pour, Scrape, Repeat, and they also have a mug. It's a brilliant group. I won this t-shirt and this mug on that group just simply by being a member. I was just lucky enough to be pulled out. My name's to be pulled out, and I won these t-shirts. So really good group. Check out the group. Really helpful, really supportive, really encouraging. And I've got a free t-shirt. So this is now going to be my painting mug, because whenever I paint, I always have a coffee on the go, and I end up paint on my hands, paint on my mug. This is now my lovely painting mug, so I'm not going to use the other things. I am going to change my t-shirt though, because this is too nice to paint in. Right, enough about that. Let me show you the colours I'm going to use. These are the gorgeous colours. So let me show you. Pebeo Silver, Studio Acrylics Silver, Studio Acrylics Cadmium Yellow Medium Hue. Let's get that into focus a bit more. De La Rowney Cadmium Yellow Deep Hue, Pebeo Studio Acrylics Gold, De La Rowney System 3 Yellow Ochre, Pebeo Iridescent Orange Yellow, De La Rowney Cadmium Orange Hue, System 3 Fluorescent Orange, Pebeo Copper, the De La Rowney Burnt Sienna, De La Rowney Burnt Umber, and then a System 3 Purple, along with my Montmartre Gold. I've got the white here because I'm actually going to mix up some cream, so I quite like mixing a little bit of white with a hint of gold, and it makes a really nice creamy colour. So because this is a swipe, I'm going to be mixing this with my pouring medium, homemade pouring medium, which is a mixture of PVA glue and water, mixed 2 parts PVA glue, 1 part water. I'm going to mix the paints 1 to 1 with the pouring medium and with the paint. And then I'm going to have a look at the consistency. I would definitely have to water some down, so the metallics always are thicker, so I'll have to add a little bit more water to get them all to about the same consistency. And then in every colour I will be adding a drop of Spot On Treadmill Silicone, just to help create the lovely cells. The swipe colours are going to be cream for the first canvas, purple for the second canvas, and then the dark brown for the third canvas, so they will all be a little bit thinner. Great, so I'm going to start mixing. Right, I'm all ready to start. So this is canvas number 1. So this is the canvas with the yellows. There is an orange and there is silver, but the main theme is yellow. I've added some primary yellow. I was looking at these colours here. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, you can. And I just thought they looked a little bit dull, so I'm going to go for a splash of really nice bright yellow, primary yellow, just to liven it up a bit. There was a fluorescent colour in canvas 2, so that will liven that up. So I just thought, actually, we need something a bit brighter here. So the swipe I'm going to do is going to be a staggered swipe. So the swipe line is going to be in the centre, but I'm going to be staggering it about a bit. So I'm just literally going to cover this canvas in these paints to start with. I'm just going to drizzle them on. No particular order, no particular pattern. Consistency, let me try and show you. It leaves a little trace on the top of the paint for probably about a second. So it's a bit thinner than when I do flip cup pours, but it's still a lot thicker than if I do a Dutch pour. So here goes. Oh, the other thing to mention is I couldn't find any push pins. I don't know what I've done with my pot of push pins. So I've come up with this. These are little shot cups, plastic shot glasses. I've put some double-sided sticky tape on the bottom and put them on the canvas. So it actually is lovely because I can get my hands right under this canvas really easily. It's just really nice being lifted a bit further off the worktop. Right, so I'm just going to start drizzling this all over. Right, that's most of the canvas covered. I obviously just need to get the edges and there's a few little spots in the middle. I'm just going to take my rings off. I always forget to take my rings off and I end up getting paint in them. So always take them off or wear gloves. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes just tilting this around just to get as much of this canvas covered as possible. I want it to dribble down the sides so all the edges are covered. Right, that is all nicely covered. So I'm just going to touch up the edges. There's just a couple of corners that I've missed, but that's fine because obviously this won't show once it's been swiped. Right, so this is the lightest canvas. So my swipe colour is this creamy colour. So I've mixed some white with a little bit of gold. I've got a little tiny tile here to the side, so I'm just going to put a little bit of the colour on there. And then I've cut out some little pieces of plastic. Oops, let me show you. So I've made these bits of plastic, cut them out from a laminating pouch. Just cut them into small strips. They're nice and bendy so that they will bend as I swipe across the canvas. So I'm going to hold it like this. I'm just going to put a bit of the paint, the swipe colour, underneath on the ends of there. So just the end is covered. And it's going to be a staggered swipe. So I'm just going to start somewhere near the middle. And then just put it on. The most important thing is that when it goes on, it's all touching. So from the whole edge is touching the paint. And then I'm simply just going to pull this through quite slowly. Like that. And then I'm also just going to try and wipe that paint down the edges as well, because what I'd quite like to do is actually bring the swipe over the edge so that the paint can drip down. So you've got the swipe pattern on the side as well. So I'm going to start in a slightly different place and I'm going to overlap with the previous swipe. And I'm just going to try and drag it down the side so it falls off down the edge. So I'm effectively sort of swiping the edge as well. I'm just going to leave it now for a few minutes and see what happens, because I don't want to over torch it. There's a lot of cells already. In fact, let me just torch the edges though. Right, I'm just going to leave it now for a few minutes. I'll be back in a minute. So here's canvas 1 finished. I've did a little bit more torching. The cells are really small at the moment, but I'm not going to keep torching because the last swipe I did, the cells started small, but actually as it was drying, they just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I think when this is dry, this will look quite different. They're quite small at the moment, but I think it would look different when it's dry. So I'm going to leave it like exactly how it is now. I'll take you in for a close-up. The colours are just gorgeous. They are just so rich. So pretty. You've got quite a nice patch of silver there, the iridescent orange coming through, the yellow is just scattered throughout. It's definitely not dominant. I would say it's more of a goldy colour that's dominant, but it is still quite light in colour. Because all the colours are quite light and the swipe colour is quite light, you're not going to get a massive contrast as you would if it was a really dark paint. But really happy. So going to move on to canvas 2, which is more oranges now. Right, canvas 2. So this is my oranges and the deeper gold this time. So I mean, again, exactly the same as before. Just going to pour it on. So this time my swipe colour is this gorgeous purple. So this is going to have a totally different look to it to the previous painting. Right, did you see how quickly the cells just appeared? I think I've made the swipe colour too thin. So I'm just remixing it here. I'm just making it a little bit thicker. I think it was too thin so that it was coming up straight away. Let's see what happens if we just make it a bit thicker. Oh, it's interesting, it's exactly the same. The cells are popping up instantly. So canvas 2, the orange one, is now done. It wasn't at all how I was expecting. It went really differently to how I was planning. You probably realised as soon as I swiped, cells popped up like crazy. I'm really not sure why. If anyone watching can tell me why, that would be great. I wasn't expecting that, and I didn't want that. I wanted to create the cells when I blowtorch, but it just wasn't meant to be. It made me wonder whether I'd accidentally put silicone in the swipe colour. I really don't think I did, but I can't think of any other explanation. So the purple is just disappearing. So I have added, as you probably saw, just added loads and loads and loads of extra purple, little swipes, bigger swipes, all sorts of extra swipes. The effects are absolutely stunning. The colours are incredible. I'm really happy with it. It's going to be interesting how it dries. I really hope it doesn't change too much from this as it dries. I really want to try and keep some of those bands of purple in there. I just have a sneaky feeling that as the cells expand further, the purple is going to start to disappear. But we'll just have to wait and see. As it is at the moment, I'm really happy with it. Not as planned, but loving the colours, really happy. Right, canvas number 3. Only thing I'm adding extra to number 3, which I hadn't planned, was a little bit of gold. I had a bit of extra, and I think it needs it. I think it just needs a little bit more contrast to the brown and the bronze, which are actually quite similar to each other. So these have been standing for a while, so actually they've naturally just thickened up slightly. So I'm just going to double check the consistency. They might just be a little bit too thick now. So canvas number 3 is finished. Wow, it's the copper in this one. The copper and the contrast with the really dark brown is gorgeous. There's little spots of the purple, spots of the orange, and the gold. Really, 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 really pretty. The cells formed beautifully this time, exactly as I was hoping. So let me take you in for a close-up. There's less cells at the moment, and again, I'm not going to overdo it with the blowtorch and with the cells, because the cells will get bigger and they will expand over the next hour or so, I guess, until it starts to dry. I love this. I love bigger cells next to smaller cells. I think that looks gorgeous, where you've got just a variation. And the copper, it almost looks like a sort of pinky colour coming through there. Really pretty, and I love the purple with it. Really, really pretty. It's not overpowering, the purple, but there's just a hint of it which ties in really nicely with canvas number 2. So just to remind you, the vision that my customer had and the colour scheme was African sunset and autumnal colours. She wanted a graduation of colours, so starting from the left, so lighter colours, yellows, middle panel oranges, and then at the ends browns. So she wanted them to gradually get darker. So I'm really happy with the result. I really hope and feel it matches what she's asked for. And what an interesting commission this has been. Let me take you in for a close-up. I cannot decide which canvas I prefer. I like them all in their own right, but they're all completely different. So just hundreds and hundreds of cells. I love the silver in this. The silver's going to look amazing when it's varnished. I've got really nice pattern over the edges. And in fact, I have in all 3. I've managed to pull the swipe over the edges of the canvases. So really happy with that. Here's my the middle canvas, canvas number 2. Such an interesting canvas. The detail in this is incredible. So it's a little bit different. You haven't got the traditional cells in quite the same way, apart from there at the bottom. But you've just got this absolutely gorgeous sort of bubbling effect. I love it, absolutely love it. And that purple has dried quite dark, so it's almost like a sort of darky maroony colour. Really, really like it, really happy. And then canvas 3, the copper is gorgeous. So all of this is copper. Here is copper, down here is copper. The copper and the brown look gorgeous. I love the fact that there you've got the purple, and you've got a little bit of purple there. You've got a little bit of white, bits of the orange just scattered. So although the canvases are all completely different, they all match and they do all pull together because of the colours I've used. So I really like it. Really, I think it works. I think it matches what she's asked me to do. Great. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell, and if you want to leave me any comments, then please do. See you next time. Bye.